Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Conversations with Carp. I'm Steve Carpenter, Sports Information Director at Hutchinson Community College, and your host for this podcast. While the Blue Dragons aren't playing games or competing in tournaments this spring because of the coronavirus pandemic, my conversations with members of the Blue Dragon Athletic Department and Blue Dragon staff across the way on the other side of campus will help keep Blue Dragon Nation in touch with what's happening concerning Blue Dragon athletics. My guest today is Blue Dragon Academic Advisor Erin Ellis. Erin, thanks for taking some time to spend with us.
Sure, thank you.
First of all, tell us the complexity of your role as being an academic advisor.
As an academic advisor, my job is to make sure that students are enrolled in the classes that they need to work towards graduation or whatever their academic goal might be, transfer to another school, completing an Associate of Applied Science or other certificate program that we might have at Hutch.
How long have you been at Hutchinson, and what path brought you to Hutchinson Community College?
Well, quite a while back when I was working at a different job, I was a part-time evening and online academic advisor here at the college. I left that part-time job for a couple years and then decided I wanted to change, and I applied for an academic advising position here. I was hired as a general advisor, and at the time there was an athletic advisor. He had started, actually I think he may have started after I started, and then left for I'm not sure what reason, but once he left I sort of took on the role just basically because of location next to the office where he was working, and it just kind of snowballed into me changing positions to the athletic advisor.
Now, Hutchinson Community College has better than 400 student athletes currently enrolled at any one time. All 400 plus aren't under your umbrella, so how many are you handling on a yearly basis?
I advise anywhere from about 180 to 225, somewhere in there. Just kind of depends on numbers and what coaches are wanting. Other advisors do advise some of our athletes, which is great because there's no way I could handle a load of 400 students and give them the best advising services possible. So anywhere between 180 to 225 is what I usually have on my plate.
Now, in with that are the international student athletes, correct?
Yes. I advise all of the international student athletes, and then I also do issue paperwork for other international students so that they can come and study at Hutch CC. But if they're not an athlete, they will usually be advised by one of our other advisors on campus.
Obviously, Erin, the coronavirus pandemic has caused all of us to change. But one of the things that we wanted to continue, even though we can't play games at this current time in history, education still doesn't stop. We didn't want our student athletes to take a break. What are some of the things that we have done as a school to not just student athletes but all students? What have we done for them to help them continue learning?
Well, all of our face-to-face classes have moved to an online platform. That's not to say they're exactly like a traditional online class, but all the coursework has been moved to a web-based system. And each instructor might do things a little bit differently, but it's all there in our online classroom in Learning Zone so that students can continue their coursework and finish out this semester. It's been a little bit of a struggle for some students to get started. We just started this week, so we're working really hard to make sure they understand what they're doing and answering questions as they have them and helping them move forward.
Now, we still have a handful of students on campus for various reasons. Obviously, travel restrictions come to mind, maybe not having a computer or internet access. What are we doing for those students in terms of taking care of them, that are the ones that are still on campus?
Rimmer, our learning center, is still open to students. They have it set up so students are following social distancing guidelines. But it is still open for students who need to use the computers to do their work. I do know that computers were placed over in the apartments where the students are living in the on-campus housing, so they have access to a computer also if they want to stay there or can't come over to Rimmer, maybe during off hours or whatever it might be.
One of the great things about Hutchinson Community College is it's always had tremendous tutoring services, obviously through Rimmer Learning Resource Center. That has obviously changed with the pandemic and social distancing. What can students do now in terms of getting tutor help through the college?
We can't obviously do the face-to-face tutoring that we had before, but we do have online tutoring services available. Students just send an email to tutors@hutcc.edu, and I don't know how quickly they're responding because I would imagine the volume is a little bit higher now, but they will get a response if they send an email. If that's not working out for them, I've encouraged my advisees to contact me so that we can figure out something else if that isn't working or they're not getting something as quickly as they need. But our tutors are working really hard to make sure that everybody is being answered and being helped in the way that they would have if they were here on campus.
You know, kind of one of the neat things here about our jobs is that we get to follow our student athletes once they leave Hutchinson Community College, and a lot of the times you'll hear one of our former athletes in an interview, and they'll throw a shout out to one of our coaches or the college. You always don't get that as an academic advisor, but you yourself had a former Blue Dragon who's currently in the NFL not too long ago give you a direct shout out and give you some props in an article done on him. Tell us about that.
Well, it was kind of a surprise. It was a nice surprise. He did say some really nice things about me and our relationship while he was here at Hutch, and how important that having someone like me or someone in this role was to making sure he got through and got on to his next school. I was interviewed for the same article, and the person who interviewed us shared a little bit with me about the way the direction the article was going, that kind of thing. But he didn't give me all of the information. So when I read the article when it came out, I didn't know what had been said about me, and it felt really good to be recognized. And of course, I'm not in this position for recognition. It feels really good to be able to help students and see them succeed, and that's really all I need. But a little recognition here and there always makes us feel good. So
you bet.
It was really, really nice sort of surprise.
And we are referring to former Blue Dragon and now current New Orleans Saint Alvin Kamara. Erin, we always appreciate the things you've done for our student athletes. We couldn't get what we need to accomplish without you. So many thanks to you, and thanks to you for taking some time out to speak with us today.
Thank you, Carp. I appreciate it.
That was Erin Ellis, Academic Advisor for Blue Dragon Athletics, and that'll wrap up another edition of Conversations with Carp. We'll talk to you again soon. So long, everybody.